ating panitikan, ang pamana ng ating lahi. Kasama si Binibining Andrea Trinidad, Ginoong Jethro Tenorio at Ginoong Yol Hamendang ng Kagawaran ng Filipino ng Pamantasang Ateneo de Manila. Ito ang Sari-Sari, ang Catholic Mass Media Awards Special Citation Awardee para sa pinakamagaling na palatuntunang pang-edukasyon sa radyo. Dito sa Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention?
If it's entertainment you crave, catch us on New Wave. Surfing through the latest on our shores.
New Wave.
Every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m.
New Wave.
See you there.
Oh, Halikino! 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 Ready? 1, 2! Halikino, kinikina! Halikino, kinikina! Yebo, yebo, Ateneo! Halikino, kinikina! Halikino, kinikina! Yebo, yebo, Ateneo! Halikino! Halikino! Halikino, kinikina!
This is Radio Katipunan 87.9 FM, the voice of the Blue Eagle.
Oh, Fabio! 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 Ready? 1, 2! Fabio! B! Fabio! A! Inikatima! Inawina! Inikatima! Inawa! Ora! Ora! Orara! Ateneo! Ateneo! Rarara!
Are you feeling sore? We can make that better. Tune in to the Ateneo Senior High School's first radio program, SOAR, the Seniors On Air Radio. Don't change that channel yet, because SOAR is ready to put the you in you. SOAR, Seniors On Air, here on Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
To listen to music that uplifts the soul, follow JustCom PH on Spotify and JustCom Music on YouTube. Our music is also available on iTunes and Deezer.
Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. This is your stop for all things pop. Catch our all-around pop culture geek, Cholo Sediaren, as he throws in some dose of what's poppin' and what's hot in the pop culture scene here on Popcorn. Munch in with us every Thursdays from 4 to 6, only here on Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Boom Coming up next, New Wave on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Radyo Katipunan.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Sa Vlog Blue Eagle kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay at tenista sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugod, todo sa kayod, dunong at tulog. Lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting nagigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention?
If it's entertainment you crave, catch us on New Wave. Surfing through the latest on our shores. Every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. See you there. Hi everyone! Good afternoon! Coming to you live on Radio Katipunan 87.9 FM via Zoom. I'm Max, and when it comes to what's happening, I'll serve you the facts. So please take the time to sit back and relax because this is New Wave. So hi everybody! How's everyone today? If you've been on the Radio Katipunan Facebook page and socials, you'd see that the station is looking for new DJs who are currently undergraduates of the Ateneo community. So, Loyola School students of any course, any school, check out our socials, look for the links. The sign up is right there and it's until the 22nd. So, you have 2 more days, though interviews are ongoing. So, we hope to see you. We hope you join us. Now, for New Wave, today is actually a bit of a milestone because it's our 80th episode. So, wow, I feel like the time just flew. Feels like we started just yesterday, but wow, 80 episodes. 20 more and we'll be at 100, so that's super exciting. Now, joining me again is my co-host for our Pinoy Playlist mini-series, B. So, hi, B! Show yourself!
Hello!
Hi.
Hello! Congratulations on your 80th episode.
Thank you.
Congratulations, New Wave. Congratulations, RK. And of course, congratulations, Maxine, for your 80th.
Thank you. Thank you, B. I'm so happy you're here. So I'm not alone on my 80th. I have someone to talk to.
Yes, and I'm wearing your
Someone to
color.
banter. Exactly. You're matching with Cookie over here. I don't know if you've seen on camera.
Actually, oo, nag-usap kami
Yeah.
ni Cookie.
Yeah,
Parang
yung
ito yung
Cookie.
suot ko. Hindi ko alam kung nasaan ka eh. Parang,
Well, it's funny. I'm the one who's not in pink today. That's different.
Exactly.
But you know what? Even Barbie wore blue. So like we're all still
hi.
in theme. So
Sige na,
as
show
we-
mo to eh.
New Wave, I have to be blue, just like the logo, just like the mic, just like the wave.
Okay.
Right. So
Hi.
anyway, as we said, today is our second installment of our Pinoy Playlist mini-series. And before we get to our guests, I'm very excited to talk to today. Let's refresh people on what Pinoy Playlist is about.
Yeah, okay. So, hindi ko dapat ginagawa. We have to wait for somebody. Pero for those who were with us last week, because we had Therese last week and we talked about Girl with the Broken String. So, these are like, parang sama-sama ng OPM artists, diba? So, this is like it's not like, it is a festival. OPM artists, all Pinoy songs, all artists. And then there are also like segments for forums. So it's a 3-day event. Ayan, thank you, Theo, for flashing our poster. It's a 3-day event happening on September 29, 30, October 1. And then we are still, I think, at the selling at the early birds pa rin tayo, I think. And then there are other announcement in the BGC. But I guess mabilis lang yung sasabihin ko kasi we'll have another maybe surprise guest later to talk about Pinoy playlist more. Yeah.
Exactly. Someone will join us to talk about it a little more in depth. But for now, for the viewers who weren't able to join us last week, that is a bit of the rundown. So now it's time to introduce our guest, who you may or may not have seen on a certain magazine. But anyway, Haru is a collective of storytellers using different creative mediums like music, art, photography, poetry, among many other things to tell honest and human stories. It started back in 2017 with its first collection called Kazoku, Stories About Family. Joining us today is the founder and head storyteller for Haru. He's the lead singer and songwriter for the Christian praise band Where's the Sheep and was an actor and songwriter for View's musical narrative series Still. So everybody, please welcome Mike Shimamoto. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hello. Hi,
Hi.
everybody.
Clearly, everyone here is in pink except for me today. I was the one who did not get the memo.
Yeah, I got the memo.
So this is our way of celebrating your 80th, Max. Yun na lang.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you very much. I feel the love. So anyway, Mike, how have you been these past few weeks? It doesn't need to be work or career related yet, just in general. How have you been?
Good, good. Kind of busy, frantic all over the place, but so excited for this moment. Parang ito na yung magiging pause ko with you and B. So thanks.
Yes, and thank you for making time for us. So, as always, we have to start from the very beginning and talk about your early days as Mike Shimamoto first, before Haru. So, where did your love for like music and storytelling begin?
Good question. I think it started very early on, for as long as I can remember. I think I always just gravitated towards music. I started out in church. That was sort of my in. We have a charismatic community here in my parish. So Our Lady of Beautiful Love. It's the Life in the Spirit community, and I was still listening to Pokemon soundtracks. um, and kung ano-anong stuff like that. But then when I started listening to praise music is when I sort of really kind of fell in love. Um, and I think, yeah, the way I've always interpreted it is that kahit na madaldal ako, I feel like I have a difficulty in articulating my experiences, and music has always been what allowed me to understand the world and my own worldview. So yeah, I think through the years that's become more and more apparent.
Nice. And what a diverse taste actually, from Pokemon soundtracks to praise songs. That's quite the mix. So
Max, ano yan eh, finding God in all things.
Oh my, I was going to say.
Ikaw,
I was going to say,
gumraduate ka lang, Max, ha?
It's very, very Theo 11.
Yeah. Anak ni Ignacio, yeah.
Shout out to Campus Ministers on air, of course.
And of course, with Pokemon and with praise songs, there's always the theme of unity, and as you said, finding God in all things. So,
exactly.
Wow, very, very interesting. So now, as a singer and as a singer-songwriter, did you ever get formal training, or is it something that you learned on your own?
Yeah, no. Hindi talaga. I mean, in all fairness to my mom, she tried. I went through all of the lessons: cello, guitar, piano. I think there was probably like a voice session in there, pero I think it's my personality lang na I have to discover it on my terms. So I always quit, not even halfway. I feel like at the very start lang I would kind of eject, but then when something would leave an imprint on me, when something would catch my attention, I would always be drawn to find it in music. And when I couldn't find it in music, that's when I would just parang be compelled to make it. So like I can't find the song that perfectly fits this moment, so why don't I write about it? And at that time, wala naman akong concept of whether it's good or not. It's just I needed to express it. So yeah.
Right, right. And
Okay.
I
And
see in your YouTube comments that people say like, "Oh, your music is very relatable." So you writing your own experience is very helpful. So B,
Oh,
your turn.
great.
ayan nga, speaking of writing experiences,
Mhm.
Mike, do you still remember the first song you've ever
Mm.
written and when was it?
Oh, wow. Um, I don't remember if it's the very first song. I feel like there were some kind of, alam mo yun, just playing around and
A
um
first full song, yun na lang.
yeah, yeah. Pero
Yes.
I think I can remember that the very first one, I was probably 13. Um, and I, as for my origin story, I was at church. Um, and parang meron lang akong friend na who was always very bubbly and she was always very um alam mo yun, parang there was always like a light and a luminescence to her. But then one day she was her aura completely changed. I don't think I have synesthesia, pero parang from like a bright yellow it turned into a very cerulean blue for me, and it really impacted me. Like I couldn't um take it out of my head. So when I got home, yeah, that's the first song I wrote. I wrote about sort of how strange it was that this person who was usually so bright um and so infectiously happy was all of a sudden just incredibly somber. So yeah, I forget the title.
Uh,
Sorry.
I can't
Dito
I can't
sa
ask
sample.
well, I can't ask about what the girl went through, but what do these colors mean to you? Like from yellow to that very specific shade of blue.
um, I don't know. I feel like parang um that's why I love music so much because I feel like I experience music in so many different ways. Maybe we'll get into it, pero uh, in my in my music appreciation and also in my process of songwriting, um, it comes out in different senses. Like it's a very sensual experience for me. Na it usually comes out in scenes. Um, when I don't know, maybe you'll notice it. Um, it was pointed out to me before, like the way I write music, para siyang movie scenes or like play scenes, because that's how I see it in my head. Um, but it also there's colors to it.
Mhm.
Um, so parang when like I know that something is has to be a certain arrangement because there's a color to the song and the arrangement has to fit in it. I can't really explain it that much, but parang so music to me is not just a sonic experience. It occupies a lot of different senses.
Yeah, and like sobrang very relatable I think with us because we are also in like the
Mhm.
music scene, we're also in the music industry. So yeah, much appreciated. Na ito kasi yun, Mike's my friend and I don't think I've ever asked you this question. So ready ka na? Okay.
Okay.
Game. No, kasi of course we knew each other because of well before like formally I guess where's the sheep.
Yeah.
But even before pa, like, oh my God, estudyante ka pa, no? Ito na naman,
Yeah, last
age
year.
reveal na naman tayo. Last year, two weeks ago, ganon.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks.
But yeah, and because yun nga, because of that ministry, so parang na-associate ko na lahat ng songs na sinusulat mo, it's related to, of course, praise, prayer, and stuff
Mm.
like that. But then, I knew then that you also had songs that are more secular mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a songwriter, as a singer-songwriter, um, why release praise songs first? And what hindi na on the secular songs or the more mainstream songs?
Um, hmm. Dalawa yung answer ko to that.
Sure.
For me kasi, at least very early on, I didn't have a distinction between the two. Parang
Mm.
for me, whether it was praise songs or whether it was songs about like different aspects of my life, it was the same to me. I was just merely speaking about my experiences, and it just so happened that God and faith and religion and spirituality were immense parts of who I am and I was. Um, and I mean, like yes, there's religious music, and also there's praise music, and there's also um, parang secular music. But if you look at my songs in a way, you'll actually notice that parang there's so much similar themes. Na yung secular songs ko, yes, it's about a relationship, or maybe it's a sad song, but there's always an aspect of faith or hope in it. And yes, I'm singing about like a more praise topic, but it's still very grounded in human experience. So for
Mhm.
me, like parang ano lang, later on ko na lang na okay fine, people are more comfortable kind of talking about genre, but at the time I didn't have the concept. Um, and then the second reason is opportunity.
Mm.
Um, among the two lang kasi, praise and um, secular, parang there was just, I don't know kung grace or timing, pero the opportunity to share praise music was just stronger.
Mhm.
Um, and well, at least for me, parang it felt right. Um, na there was something so much more fundamental that I could sing about. Um, I didn't feel that the songs that I were writing that were secular um, had a strong enough voice,
Mhm.
whereas the songs that I was writing for God just felt more buo, more
Mhm.
whole, more true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Sige. Okay, so speaking of these songs, let's cue in our first song. Our first song is entitled Panahon. You may or may have not heard this before, because this is
I
actually
wonder where.
our music bed, our OBB sa Mind Ed. But I
Yeah.
think we've played it in that episode as well. But I think this is the first time we're hearing it on New Wave. And the first time, of course, I know the story about Panahon, pero might care to share with our viewers or our audience and K-Max, of course, what this song is all about.
So, Panahon is an anthem of hope. Uh, I wrote it as a tribute to someone very, very dear to me. And kind of the context is that this person has always been a source of strength. Um, pero during the time that I wrote it, I had the opportunity to be the one to encourage and show love to this person. So parang I wanted to have a song that could express na if you give me the chance, I can love you the way you've loved me all these years. So
Wow, a message people would love to hear. So to our viewers, this is Panahon.
Sa'yo sumisilong kapag ang puso ko'y pagod. Dampi ng hangin sa pisngi, unti-unti pumipikit. Ang araw ay humihikap, ang alon ay naglalaro. Salamat sa iyong ngiti, ang takot ay napapawi. Kahit sa dilim at sa lamig at sa lalim ng gabi, kahit sa dilim at sa lamig at sa lalim ng gabi, kahit sa dilim at sa lamig at sa lalim ng gabi, kahit sa dilim at sa lamig at sa lalim ng gabi, huwag kang bibitaw, 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 huwag kang bibitaw.
And we're back. That was Panahon by Mike Shimamoto, a live performance actually. And I think somebody was able to put the stream link, the Spotify link in the comment section on Facebook. So if you liked hearing that, the link is right there. So, Mike, that was a very personal song. And earlier we were talking about your processes as a songwriter, how for you it's not just a sonic or sound experience, but also like a visual experience because you imagine these things in your head. So as a songwriter, writing songs like about yourself, your experiences, how do
Mm.
you choose what to share with your audience and things to keep to yourself? Like do you draw boundaries somewhere, if any?
Mm, hmm. I think um, it it probably comes after.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in the initial process of songwriting, parang truth has to play a large part kasi.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, parang at the end of the day, I don't write because I know people are listening, but I write because it's my way of articulating my own experiences. Um, so that parang that process happens individual or
Individual.
singularly. Uh, so I stay in that space and I'm as honest and as um, vulnerable as I can be. Um, but then I'm a firm believer that um, parang you attract the people um, who you want to connect to, um, and that parang the universe responds to what you put out.
That's
So
true.
in a way, uh, ano ba? As as for like deciding what to share to people, I think it depends on who's listening. Um,
Okay.
I definitely have songs that I wrote maybe like a decade ago that I haven't put out just because I know na parang it's not really time yet. Um,
Okay.
but I've been very blessed that the audience that I've um kind of gathered around our music um really like these sort of honest, very vulnerable themes. Um, so yeah,
So with
matter of timing na lang.
timing, all right. So with this approach and how you like release your music, that you attract the listeners who are like who are like-minded and also appreciate the stories that you tell. Do you ever still like go through writer's block, especially when like you don't set these deadlines for yourself? And if you do, how do you get through it?
Mm, ako maybe not so much. Not in the sort of no how we normally understand um writer's block. Writer's block
Mm-hmm.
for to me kasi is that there is a need to write and you're not able
Okay.
to meet that need. But because I write for myself, um, uh, parang when there's not there isn't a song that sort of wants to be born, I don't force it. Um, for me kasi I'm a story-centric writer. So what's important for me is that may kwento, bago
All
yung
right.
melody, bago kind of like a gimmick or a strong structure.
Yeah.
So for me, when a song, there isn't a song yet, it's just because the story isn't ready.
All
Um,
right. Okay.
so I feel like a way that I'm able to get away from writer's block is that um, I try to figure out what the story is first. And once that's down, everything else becomes very easy. Um, the melody and the chords and the arrangement, they just kind of flow from there.
Nice, nice. B?
Okay, I was gonna say, anong writer's block, Max? Hindi nagra-writer's block yan si Mike.
Hindi nyo
Parang
lang
hindi
nakikita.
nauubusan yan ng ano, hindi nauubusan yan ng ano, ng music. No, 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 I can say this kasi I think we've collaborated na rin on several songs. He's helped me write some of the songs unreleased, LOL. But yes,
Unreleased for
that's
now.
true.
For
For
now.
now, yes. For now, let's see. But yeah, anyway, I was saying na yes, totoo yun. Si Mike laging is always story-centric or story-based. Kasi before we get into the music, like, ang haba muna ng kwentuhan about it. Yeah, hindi pa kasama dun yung mga like waterfall of conversations namin. But yeah, so anyway, let's jump right on it dun sa Haru. Okay,
Yeah.
so this has always been a discussion. Actually asked Max na ako yung magtanong nito because we really don't know how do we answer this ourselves. Is it like who is Haru? What is Haru?
How is Haru?
How is Haru? Yeah.
Why is
Why is
Haru? So I kind of edited our ano ba, script, air quotes.
Yeah.
and just put there parang explain Haru.
Okay.
So
Expound.
please. Like I know like Haru with all my heart and soul, but can you tell us more about Haru?
And for the listeners especially.
Of course, yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Haru in essence is a sharing space. It's a collective of storytellers. So the way I like to look at it is that we're just a group of friends who um, share a love for stories, and we're able to share that through different mediums. Like what was mentioned kanina, there's an aspect that's music, but there's also aspects of poetry and photography and all these different things. It's a collaborative space. Um, Specifically, for at least for the past couple of years, it's been music driven mostly because parang I've taken the lead on releasing my collections and my stories, and I express my stories through music. Pero a lot of the collections, as we call it, it's been a collaborative work with different friends. So whenever I have a story, I'll write a song about it, but I'm already reaching out to a friend of mine that can you take pictures for this and can you create artwork for it and ganyan. So and they all have their own kind of stories relating to that topic. But yeah, so that's Haru. But it's also really just a space for people to um, kind of relate to one another given those stories and to share honestly and yeah, so
But yeah, Mike, but
that's best as I can.
what is Haru? Ano ba siya? It's sorry, this is for
Like
the
a-
sake of our
A
viewers.
group?
Like,
Is it a group or like
oh,
Yes, yeah, it's a
It's a group,
collective.
it's a
It's
okay.
a collective of storytellers. It's a group of friends.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
that's great.
yeah, so that.
Yeah, it's a community basically. But then why Haru?
Yeah, why is
that
it called
word?
Haru?
Why? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Haru means spring, right? So why
Yes.
Haru?
Yes, alam ni Max.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, so Haru is spring in Japanese, and for me, and also in the language, parang spring carries with it sort of like this opportunity for newness and change. Um, for me, Haru also means hope. Um, so I think when I was trying to figure out this whole project, this collective, we wanted to be as honest and as real in the stories that we share. Pero parang um, there needed to be a foundation. And for me, the foundation was this image of spring. Um, that even if we share some of the saddest stories, it's still leading us to um, the promise of newness and the promise of tomorrow. So parang the way I also kind of understand it is Haru is the house that hope built. Parang ganun.
Alright.
Right. Okay, so at least malinaw na it's not Mike Haru Shimamoto.
Yeah, yeah.
We understand now. It means hope,
Yeah,
new
yeah.
beginnings. And
Yeah,
Ano ko
we have
talaga
to
yun? Code name. Yeah, yeah.
we have, we have to clear that up that it's not Mike Haru Shimamoto, but Haru is a collection of stories.
The-
I can, yeah,
Yeah.
sige, go ahead.
Sorry, the funny thing lang is that it just so happened that a lot of my friends and collaborators in Haru are very introverted people. So parang they want to share their stories, but um they constantly offer me as tribute to be the face of it. That's why I guess parang na associate sa akin. But the truth of it is like no, we're a collective, we're a group of people.
Okay, can we out some of those storytellers?
Exactly.
And like give a
Who are
shout
they?
out na rin siguro what's their story. Like a few lang. Sige, ako na maglalagdag ng isa. Lagdag talaga yun. Ako na mag-out ng isa. My co-host then sa Minded, Patrick, was also like one of the storytellers, right?
Yeah,
Kaya nga,
yeah.
yung trivia, that's why we also use that in our show. And then, syempre, nagpaalam din kami, Mike, and we use panahon as our bed.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's one. And then, who are the other storytellers of Haru? And, like,
Yeah.
of course, obviously, you bring in the music part, and then, sino pa yung iba? So we can, like, quickly say hi to them.
Yeah, another one is yung longtime collaborator ko and one of my best friends, si Hero. Um, si si Hero is yon. Siya yung ever since talaga na we would create anything and hihingan kami ng music video or ng whatever. Tapos like, nee, okay, okay, ikaw na lang. Or talagang purposefully ibababa niya yung buhok niya para hindi siya makikita. So, yan yung mga ganyan. Sina Hero, sino pa ba yung mga friends natin? Sina Hannah, in poetry, and sina Alexa photography, so all of these, NCB.
Thanks for outing me.
Sabi ko parang akala ko i-out niya yung sarili niya eh, pero
I was waiting actually because I didn't know that. I was just thinking like, is B going to reveal something today? Is she one of the storytellers too?
No.
But
Yeah, I kinda am actually, but of course, ibigay natin kay Patty kasi wala siya dito.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
mag-out sa
of
akin.
course, of course.
Alright.
Hi Patrick, I hope you see this episode. So now that we know a few of the names behind Haru, it's time to talk about how you guys will be performing, what you guys will be performing in Pinoy Playlist. But before that, we have a very special announcement from multimedia guru and level up host, Mr. Noel Ferrer. So hi, Tito Noel. Long time no see.
Hello, Tito Noel talaga. Hello, we missed
Tino
you.
mo, hindi yung color niya.
I got the memo. I saw you earlier. And Father Mike, how are you?
Hi, Sir Noel.
At nagtatagalog siya, yun pwede. He is trying to be more accessible now. No, I supposed to ask. So, if Haru's performing in the Pinoy playlist, are you with the other collaborators?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ano naman po? Yeah, the
At
music,
nagtagalog
the
na siya
song.
bigla. Okay. So, ayun. And then one last question. Sabi ni Joe Marie Chan, and he went viral in his statement na dapat yung music for him at least hobby lang yon. Tapos to take a day job and parang the practice of music is there parang parang sideline. Ganun ba yung case mo, Mike?
For me, very individual naman yung sagot ko, but it's always been integrated for me. Parang I have passions outside of music, but also I see na they work together. And it's just if you do something pertaining to what si Sir Jose Marichan said, parang if you do something, you just have to be prepared to take on kung ano yung dala nun. So if there are consequences or if there are difficulties, you just have to be prepared to take that on. That's the fruit of it.
Nice, right?
Yeah, so there.
Like Max, no, you're done with school. You can actually
Yes,
go
I am.
into a music career, but are you taking it as a hobby for now, or you're taking a day job after college?
Tito Noah, I'm still in my figuring things out era since I just graduated. And a friend told me, do not make any decisions or look for anything until after Ghost Month. So now that it just ended, now I'm like thinking about it. But of course, like, I want to hear advice from a lot of people, like Mr. Semery Chan, who's such an industry veteran, and of course, a lot of other people who have had like similar experiences, especially now that the landscape is so different. So, figuring
Yeah.
it out era.
Sarap, no? Anyway, Jose Marichan was one of our awardees last year in the Pinoy
Yeah.
playlist. And this year we're having it again. We're on our fifth year, and thank you, Mike and Haru, for being part of it. Well, it has a theme, yun nga, gunita at mga bukas. So, nagtatagalog tayo. So, the challenge na mag-Tagalog for you to be more
Ayan
accessible.
na.
Ayan.
Sir, paki-explain the theme, please.
Yun nga, memories and futures. So ibig sabihin yun nga parang hindi tayo mabubuhay ng hindi naka-anchor or nakaugat dun sa nakaraan. Pero we're featuring a lot of new artists. So, new parang Mike, new pa rin kayo.
Yeah.
parang yun, or new is actually a way of looking at things, no? So parang daming new acts or fresh acts na i-feature. So about almost 50 shows na 45-minute. Tapos nun, ito yung bagong feature actually, a festival is not complete without yun nga a forum, no, or conversation. So we're having songwriting workshops with Jonathan Manalo, Trina Belamide, and Moy Ortiz. And then there's another forum for the second day on AI and how it will affect music content creation. And your dad's part of the panel.
Yes.
So,
Hello,
with
Sir
Aldo
James.
and
Hi,
Marlon
Daddy.
Nuevo, no? So that would be a good thing kasi kung lahat na AI na, and a lot of people are averse, no, para dun sa pero merong ding, di ba? Merong ding pwedeng pakinabang. So magandang pag-usapan yan. The third day, I will be with sina Floyd Quintos, Paolo Valenciano, and Dexter Santos to talk about concerts and and how to watch a concert. Parang, and now what are people looking for, and ano yung trends and spending pattern, no? Parang from
That's right.
from kunyari a small gig to a K-pop gig. Parang may purchasing power pala yung mga tao saan sila nagsispend. At saka yung and the reception also, no, sa States daw ngayon uso na yung binabato ng kamatis yung mga audience.
I always see
Saw that.
videos.
Di ba parang tayo ba dadating ever sa point na yon? So maganda pag-usapan yung norm ng paggawa, yung process sa content, and probably the trends and the reception. And yun, we're honoring also icons. So Mr. C is multifaceted. So every year we see people who will follow his footsteps. So we see we're honoring Coke Balipata of the Pundakit center dun sa parang cultural center of the North for music education and music practice din kasi well-renowned instrumentalist si Coke, and then Mel Villena for as an instrumentalist, pero apart from just being an instrumentalist like Mr. C, industry leader din, no? He's the founding member of AMP. And then we're honoring Regine Velasquez, and people are asking, bakit si Regine? Bakit nilampasan niyo pa yung ibang mga performers? Because Regine's really not into just performing, but she's into mentoring. People don't know that she would guest in concerts of young people, young artists, new artists, na hindi siya nagpapabayad. Yun, a lot of, imbitahin mo lang siya. And she has mentored, and she's, di ba, parang she became a mentor of a Pinoy pop superstar, Philippine Idol, and a lot of other. So parang it extends, it goes beyond you. Yun yata yung malinaw sa atin ngayon. Pag ibibigay tayo ng pagpahalaga, yung mga taong malinaw yung bakit at para kanino.
That's right.
Yun yung at least sa atin yung bakit natin ginagawa yung Radyo Katipunan, bakit natin ginagawa ito.
Exactly.
It's really beyond us. Hindi na para
It
sa
is.
atin lang. So yun yung gusto namin sa Pinoy playlist. So across genres and across generations.
Yes.
That's
So,
right.
it's
Oo nga
there. When I tech people like, yun nga, haru na pala. Hindi lang si Mike. So,
Haru.
what was that? While you're singing, you're flashing photographs or may visual art sa kasama. So, it's a whole experience, Mike? Or may poetry reading, ganon?
I don't think we have screen Sir Isabel eh.
Sayang.
Yeah,
Would have
but
wanted to,
But what can the audience expect?
Oh,
What can the audience expect? That's
not just Mike Shimamura.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So give us a
Well,
teaser of what's happening.
so yes, I mean we're going to be featuring some songs that parang people have already heard. We've been taking around a little bit, but we're going to also share some songs that we've been working on for quite some time.
Very good.
And these are the theme of parang kasi yung interpretation namin sa Gunita and yung Towards Tomorrow, we had a bit of a different spin on it, which is that parang in loving there is letting go.
Lesson yun kay B.
Ganon!
On air!
Cut to commercial!
On air!
Maganda yun. Okay.
Yeah. Yun po. So parang just a different spin on kind of how we deal with relationships, but also I guess dahil baka tumatanda na rin ako na
tumatanda ka na talaga. Kaya kailangan you're out there already, Mike.
Yes.
You're so exclusive. People are asking you, ano ba yan si Mike?
Kaya tayo may meeting bukas no, sir?
Pero finally, Mike, at least na-realize na tumatanda ka na.
Finally. Wala nang
And ang ganda nga parang sabi mo you're doing things for yourself. At least now you're opening up and saying, okay, my audience.
Yes.
Okay, my
exactly
audience.
po. Yeah.
It's so humbling to know na it's so hard to know testing yourself kung tatanggapin ka ng audience o hindi. But at least yun nga, you've shared yourself. Di ba, B? Maganda yung, hindi mo alam kung tatanggapin ka ng tao, pero yun, binibigay mo yung gusto, yun, dapat. Pwede mo ibigay.
It's the just do it mentality. But anyway, so Tito Lo, I
That's
actually have a question.
Yes, go.
I actually have a question regarding Pinoy playlist. So for our audience members who are interested in going, how is it formatted since it's both performances and workshops? Like, is there a schedule? Is everything happening simultaneously and then you just attend? So how will it work?
There are 3 venues, no? There's a venue outside for the big bands. There's a venue inside, dalawang venues doon where John Santa's playing yung Every Brilliant Thing in Filipino. Doon sa second
that was
floor,
great.
Ayala. And there's another one sa Globe Theater. Na. So, parang festival talaga. You can there's a day pass. Pwede, you're only available Friday or Saturday or Sunday. Pwede kang, 5 minutes dito, afternoon, pwede kang lumipat ng venue, di ba? Para to get the feel of all the concerts. Or pwede kang magstay sa isa. Well, mamili rin lang. So there's a day pass. Or meron naman yung for the whole festival. But the 4 are open to everyone. Mag-enlist lang yata. So ako, make the most of it. Parang, join the self. Ako yung AI talaga interests me a lot.
Interesting yan. Oo nga eh. Sir, tama po ba? Sir, tama po ba? Early bird pa rin tayo? Early bird price pa rin tayo?
Actually, yun ang apostolate lang naman to. Feeling namin, i-pick na lang yung early bird kahit hindi na early. Kasi yung mga Pinoy, last minute talaga kumukuha ng tickets, di ba? Kasi sabi niya, repeat. Tapos, anong repeat? Hindi kayo kumuha ng ticket the first time. Pero yun. So, pero hindi natin masisi kasi, totoo to. Yung productivity natin, ng traffic. Kaya hindi mo malalaman yung schedule mo until the day prior or the day itself. Kung dati nakakagawa tayo. So, 4 na bagay isang araw. Kaya nga last na Rose yata yung first question ko yung Father Nolan at Father Ro. Yun nga, paano masasolve yung traffic sa atin eh. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Parang forever naman yung problema, sir.
Pero talaga
It's a
ngayon,
forever
I
problem.
live within the area, yun yung problema talaga. So kung meron kayong sagot siya, so
Please email.
Email
Okay.
radiokatipunan@gmail.com.
at kung hindi natin ma-express kung paano yan, si Mike gagawa ng kanta tungkol sa traffic. Di ba may
Oo,
pelikula na nga, may pelikula na yun sa GMA, yung sabi, paano tayo paano tayo mag-move on sa isang bansang hindi umuusad?
Yes.
Tama yan.
Totoo
Right.
yun.
Sir, bukas may kanta na
Literally.
si Mike. Buo na yung kwento. Na-experience na niya yan. Ilang taon yan sa
Lahat
Ateneo.
na traffic, pati mga relasyon, di ba? Pati mga ginagawa. So ako yun talaga. Pinoy playlist. A lot of foreign artists coming in.
We are so excited.
Every week
It's
na
a
lang
good
may
lineup.
K-pop na nag-fan greet at maraming tao na pupuno yung mga venue, di ba?
Guilty!
Guilty yung isa dyan.
Guilty!
Oo, 17,000. Parang ganun for
Yes.
ganun fan greet, no? Parang,
Oh no, I didn't go to that one, but guilty. I went to a fan meet and a concert, but that's a conversation for another day.
Yes. Ako naman, ito, yung Pinoy playlist, ito ay atin, sariling atin. At take on what we can offer as Filipinos. Ayun.
Yes. And ako, as a festival goer since the first Pinoy playlist, sobrang saya niya, guys. It's such a rich experience to be there. Tsaka nakaka-proud talaga. Na this is like all Pinoy, and I'm actually excited. Like sila Therese and sila Judith Tamondok will be there also flying in from Visayas. And then we have different genres as well, and different communities, and it's very diverse na hindi lang basta music. It's more like stories and celebrating Pinoy talents and
And we're
everything.
really conscious about that, like featuring national artists. Yung talagang parang sana rin, they would have their own Pinoy playlist outside. Kaya nga, breakthrough din dati when we had parang Pinoy pop, yung pop music festival, when yung songwriting contest, they had, nag-open na ng Cebu Pop, nag-open na Bispop, tas Amyanan, and parang sabi ko, yun parang hindi lang sa Manila may ganyan. So we're trying as much as possible to accommodate everyone. So thank you, Mike, pati yung Japanese. Haru.
Thank you.
Representing.
Pinoy Japanese.
Yes. Thank you po. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Noel.
Si Mike. Patagalog din mo.
So thank you for the
Thank you. And then on Friday, I'm having Tia Works back in
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Great. The first interview as a wife and as a book author.
Yeah,
Sorry,
as an
address
author,
nyo ba
I
yung
saw,
issue?
yeah.
Ay, sige, offline na natin.
Which
yan.
okay, wait. Let's save that
I-offline
for
na natin yan.
let's save that for the after show talk because
So,
we're
pero
also
ang
running
maganda
out
naman
of
at
time.
he's
So
accommodating. Hindi
Yes.
naman siya yung organizer. So
Okay. Sige,
Okay,
pag-usapan
so-
natin yan sa Friday, sir.
yeah, so everybody stay on Zoom. But before we all go, I'd like to invite the Ateneo community, the students, please, if you can, drop by Pinoy Playlist. If you're not yet into OPM, you will be after this. It's a good thing to expose yourself to, whether you're a musician or a casual listener. There will definitely be something for you. Before we go, I'd like to acknowledge some comments here. So from Maria Victoria Edaponan, good afternoon to you. Thank you for being here every week. For Mike, from JP Sabanal Evangelista, hi, Idol Mike. And then Madel Moralida, who has the Spotify link. And yes, my dad saying, I have a song called Traffic. It's true, I have a song called Traffic. First song I ever wrote with one of my closest friends ever. Hi, Isabella. We wrote it when we were both 14. And it's on YouTube. I'll show
traffic din relasyon?
Yeah, it took us
Sir,
12
offline yan.
hours to get from Manila to Baguio. And when we got to Baguio, there was
maganda
even
rin
more
yung
traffic.
song.
So we were like, okay, let's write a song called Traffic. Make it sound like a love song. And it was such a fun experience. And that was my first ever, that was the first ever experience I had the songwriting.
And good,
So,
no? If you cannot
something
saw
to show.
traffic, at least a nice way of looking at it, nakagawa ka ng kanta. Di ba?
Exactly.
It's an
Exactly.
anthem na.
It's become traffic here in the Philippines, let's be real here. It's become a metaphor for growth and many other things. So
And relationships.
Ayan tayo eh. Wait, tapos na yung ghost month.
yeah,
So
okay.
tama na yan.
Yeah, ghost month is over. I have to start figuring things out. And before we Mike
Yes.
still has a song to play, which I'll ask him to
Yes.
Huwag na lang
introduce
play live. Dapat
after.
live.
Hindi ka ready.
Technically,
Kaya
it
niya
is a
yun
live
na.
Ako na
song.
nagsasabi.
Technically, it's
Mike na, go. I-challenge mo si Mike. Kaya niya yan.
so
Kapela,
Mike.
Mike, go.
So Mike, you have the
Acapella.
option. You have the option to get your guitar and play it now, or introduce it and we play the live performance
Ah,
while I
no, no,
just
no,
sing
no,
to
no.
everyone. So
Ganito
you
na
gotta
lang.
choose. So you have to
No,
choose.
no, no. Let's best of both worlds. Mike, ito na lang request because we're not gonna be able to play the last one na napabaon natin. So why don't we play the full version of Please Tolerate Me, pero sample naman siguro nung Rather Love because it's a very beautiful song as well.
Okay.
Kahit like a snippet
nga.
lang, okay. A cappella is okay for Rather Love, right?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So,
Mike,
okay.
don't worry.
Hindi.
I'll give you time. I'll give you time to emotionally, psychologically, spiritually prepare yourself.
Pag-usapan
I'll
muna
say
natin
thank
si Mike.
Ready.
thank you
Ready
to-
na siya agad.
I'll say thank you to everyone first because this was New Wave's 80th episode and I want to thank everyone for being here. So yay! So before we say goodbye and Mike will sing, this has been New Wave. So thank you to Teo and Sir Justin for handling the broadcast. To Ian and Migoy for your behind the scenes support. Happy birthday, Migoy. I hope you're enjoying your
Oh,
vacation.
happy birthday, Migoy.
So thank you to B and to Tito Noel for being here,
Thank
joining me
you.
today. So don't miss out. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter to see what's up. My Instagram is Maxine Cruz. That's Hannah with an H at the beginning and the end, 2 N's in the middle. And on Twitter or X, I'm Maxine Cruz with an underscore. So catch the replay on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM's Facebook page, YouTube, and Twitter Live, all of which go by at Radyo Katipunan. This will also be available as a podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Anchor under the name New Wave. But most of all, thank you to our guest, Mike Shimamoto, for joining us today, sharing your journey with us. The floor is yours. You know what you have to do.
Yay!
Go, Mike.
I'll do it live.
Go, Mike.
Yeah, the Rather Love muna and then let's see and
Snippet.
Please
Don't worry.
Tolerate
Just
Me
a
later.
snippet.
Wait
Then we'll
lang.
ask you to...
Rather
Let
love.
me just get my guitar.
Yay!
Okay.
Okay. So we have another
Okay,
intermission.
amang ganon, sabihin natin sa viewers,
Yeah.
pwede na hong ligawan si Maxine kasi graduate na siya. Yay!
Yay! Teka, nanonood pa yun. Nanonood pa yung mga
Yung
magulang.
dad niya. Oo nga, pwede na. Kasi meron na
My parents
capacity to
know
this
who I
girl,
like.
diba?
My parents know who I like, and they are all idols. So
Nasa ano ba?
they are all K-pop idols. So what are we gonna do now?
Oh, yan na si Mike.
Ay,
There he
okay.
is. Okay.
Go, Mike.
All right, if you can hear me. So it goes, love, love, love. What to do with love, love, love. What to do with love, what to do with love. Rather, what will love do with you? What will love, 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 love? What to do with love, love? What to do with love? What to do with love? Rather, what will love do with you? What will love do?
Yay! Thank you, Father Mike.
Thank you,
Thank
Mike. Thank you. So,
Thank
I
you
think
so much.
we're still going to play Please Tolerate Me as the last song. But before I ask Mike to introduce it to the audience, I will sign off as New Wave first because this has been New Wave, our 80th episode. So thank you. And
Congratulations, New Wave.
Thank you. And we'll see you again next week for the last part of our Pinoy playlist mini-series. Now I hand the floor over to Mike. Please introduce your next song, which is our finale.
So Please Tolerate Me is a song about wanting to love the people you love but don't know how. And there's always an aspect wherein we get too much into our head, but at the end of it all, we know that the people who love and care about us do so willingly, good side and the bad. So this is a song called Please Tolerate Me.
It's never meant to be easy, but I didn't think I'd make it this hard. I always knew it was hard to love me, but I didn't think I'd make it this tough. When you'd look at me like that, with the saddest eyes, I feel my heart breaking apart, 'cause I love you, but I don't know how to. I love you, but I don't know how. You said I've had enough time to change now, yet I've barely changed at all. You try to open up my heart, babe, but I've probably built another wall. When you look at me like that, with the saddest eyes, I feel my heart breaking apart, 'cause I love you, but I don't know how to. I love you, but I don't know how. I know I'll make you more upset, time and time again, I bet, but please tolerate me. I know I'm far from being best, I'll probably fail your every test, but I still hold on, 'cause I love you, but I don't know how to. I love you, but I don't know how. I love you, but I don't know how to. I love you, but I don't know how. Please tolerate, please tolerate me one more time. 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 Please tolerate, time, please tolerate, tolerate, please tolerate me. One more time.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention?
If it's entertainment you crave, catch us on New Wave. Surfing through the latest on our shores. New Wave. Every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. New Wave. See you there.